Welcome, everyone, to the L7C podcast WrestleMania review edition. I know you guys have been waiting, and we apologize for the delay, but the L7C is here to talk about what transpired at WrestleMania. We know you guys already know what happened, but you're going to get our thoughts and opinions on what has happened. We got the wrestling expert with us, Mr. Jacob Mason. How are you doing today, sir?
Yeah, I am fantastic. I just woke up from a nap. I'm here for this podcast, and thank you to the L7C listeners for being patient. I was on vacation last week, so it's my fault that we did not get this done sooner, but I appreciate all the patience.
And then we got the captain with us, Mr. Byron Mitchell. How are you doing today, sir?
Oh, I am great. It's always a great day when we can come on and talk about wrestling and a good wrestling show at that.
So what we're going to do today, we're just going to talk about WrestleMania and some of the stuff wrestling that's post WrestleMania that has transpired. I do want to say be on the lookout for a quick turnaround with this podcast and another wrestling podcast, because we need to discuss, since we've been away, what the heck is going on with AEW and them showing the footage. So we're gonna give AEW its own podcast, and we're gonna try and schedule that right away. Just so this podcast isn't 10 hours long, and so that when you get that AEW one pretty quickly. All right. Let's just get right into it. WrestleMania Night 1. Byron, let's head it to you first. Your girl,
Okay.
Becky Lynch, the challenger,
Mm-hmm.
going up against Rhea Ripley, the champion. Rhea Ripley had the band that does her theme song out there. And two women starting it off. Rhea retained. How do you feel about that?
It was definitely the right call for Rhea to retain. No, on the preview podcast, I was like, Rhea should win, but I could see them giving it to Becky because she had a new book. And then, like, her intro, she was all about her book and, like, her coming out of, like, her book, which was a cool entrance. And then Rhea had her entrance. And then as soon as Rhea's entrance started, I was like, yeah, Becky's probably taking this L. But it was a great overall match. I'm happy that they decided to have Rhea win. It was another good notch on her championship reign. Beating one of the four horsewomen, that's always a good thing to do. And congratulations, Rhea.
Second straight one at WrestleMania.
Yeah, Charlotte last year, and then Becky this year.
Jacob, what were your thoughts on the ladies opening up WrestleMania Night 1 and Rhea retaining?
Yeah, I loved it. I was so happy. This was one of my biggest questions on my pick'em sheet on who wins and who doesn't. I kept going back and forth on this one. But actually, I had a different reaction when I seen Rhea come out Motionless in White singing her theme song out. I thought, oh shit, she's got a band singing her out. Seems like anytime someone gets her like a band singing them out, it seems like they lose a lot of time. Or at least that's how it used to be. So I first seen it, I was like, fuck. Becky's going over. But I was happy, man. This is a good match.
I agree with both of you guys. I went back and forth too with this, like, for sheet wise. I went with Rhea just because I felt like she was hotter at the moment. So I just felt like with her being as hot as she is right now, that this just wasn't the time at this point in time. And Becky doing the job and Rhea solidifying herself. Obviously, hindsight now, weeks later, Rhea got hurt the Monday after with the skirmish with Liv. So now she had to vacate the title. We can talk about that. Well, we can talk about that now. Now with Rhea vacating the title, who do we think is going to be the women's champ?
So I'm confused because at the time we're recording, next Monday, they're crowning a new champion. But they didn't say if it was a match. Yeah, in Columbus, Ohio. They didn't say if it was a match or they're just going to pick someone.
I feel like that's going to be a social media type announcement they're going to make, like either Friday or Monday.
Yeah. I don't know who I feel like they should do it like a tournament style. Get somewhat fresh women out there you haven't seen on TV in a while. Maybe Maybe Alexa Bliss comes back in.
That's who I think is going to win. Because why would you have it your new champion crowned? No disrespect to our city, obviously, but why would you have a new champion crowned in Columbus instead of saving that for like a big moment on a pay-per-view? They got the pay-per-view in France coming. That's gonna. We've seen how the international crowds have been. Why don't you just have a little mini tournament and then the final people fight at the pay-per-view? Unless it is going to be someone. It is going to be someone like Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, that's what I've heard rumored on the, well, not rumored, but like theorized on Twitter that maybe they give it to Alexa Bliss because it is in Columbus. But I kind of want them to do a tournament and crown a new champion at Backlash since it is on May the 4th. So they got about, what, 3 weeks to come up with a solid tournament.
What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, honestly, I was going to say Liv Morgan. But now that I kind of forgot about Alexa Bliss and I didn't know it was in Columbus. So now that you say that, I'm like, oh shit, let's go Alexa. Especially with the other shit that's going on. It could be a really good time.
Yeah.
I do think Liv's going to win the title eventually. I mean, obviously now she's flipped that switch and has like heel behavior now, becoming the heel. And basically saying, I mean, she's sitting some fire promos like, why are these fans like booing me for, obviously it was an accident, but you know, playing into the story now, hurting Rhea. Literally a year ago, she took me out. So an eye for an eye. I'm like, hey, you're spitting facts. Like, I don't disagree. Like, and you came back. I just don't know if they want Rhea to, I mean, they want Liv to win that thing without her and Rhea going at it. Because now you really got 2 years of storyline with those two.
I did see one rumor. It was kind of like a fantasy booking thing. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of all fucking here for it. I'm not going to lie. Is what if Liv becomes Dom's new mommy?
Oh, it takes over Judgment Day?
I saw that on Twitter today.
And then Rhea comes back, and then you flip it, and you have a custody for Dominic Mysterio ladder match. It's like, that's amazing. Let's go.
I think that would be cool if like somehow she took that over. That would be wild, because then you have a whole dynamic of when Rhea comes back, not only trying to get her title back, but her family back as well. Yeah. I think that'd be dope. The only thing holding back my Alexa Bliss thing too is that if you've been watching Raw or seeing some of the Uncle Howdy stuff, maybe coming back, and we've talked about maybe like the whole Wyatt crew all coming back on one day. So with Howdy and Bliss and all that, but we'll see. But I don't see what other woman besides Liv, who's currently on the active roster. Obviously, we don't know if Alexa Bliss is coming back or not Monday, but we don't know who, Nia Jax. Like, no one wants her. It ain't gonna be Maxine Dupree. It ain't gonna be.
True. You did tell me this on Monday. You always got that wild card of Charlotte
I did
Flair.
say the wild card of Charlotte Flair coming back. There's a title. I saw the GIF today from Michael Keaton, Batman, the very first one, where he's sitting in the chair, and they said when Charlotte sees there's a vacant title, and Keaton stands up and sees the bat symbol, and they're like, that's Charlotte's signal. There's a vacant title. It's time to come back and win. But we'll see. We'll see on that. Next match, we had the Awesome Truth, A-Town Down, against basically Judgment Day, DIY, New Day, Catch New Republic in a ladder match. This match was very creative. I actually like how they did this for a fact that it was a way, if you didn't know, a team could win both belts, or two different teams could win two different belts. A lot of people didn't know that going in, and they were able to split this with Awesome Truth winning and A-Town Down Under winning from the SmackDown side. And just as of day of recording, they unveiled new tag team belts for Raw, so they're going to get some SmackDown. But Jacob, you like the creativity and being this to be a creative way to split the belts?
Yeah, I like it, but I had no idea that they were splitting the belts. Like, no idea. And then I was like, was I the only one? I was talking to people from work over the past couple of days about WrestleMania, and they thought the same thing. They're like, when the hell were they splitting up the titles? I had no idea. I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. But I like the way they did it. I think it was really good. I think going into this quote unquote new era, I think this was the right teams for it too.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm happy with it. I think it was good. The match was good. All here for it.
Byron, do you think, I know it's really young, but obviously his United States title run was not good. Do you think this is Austin Theory's like chance to really reinvent himself as a champ with like Grayson Waller to really get back in great footing?
I think it is because I feel like WWE is high on Grayson Waller ever since he got called up to the main roster, and them pairing Austin Theory with him, I think they actually make a good tag team. So I can see this potentially elevating Austin Theory to what Vince McMahon thought he would be, or Vince McMahon got excommunicated. Um, but I enjoyed the match. I know like there were rumblings on the internet. I think Michael Cole maybe said it that the match doesn't end until both belts are full. So that's kind of where I got the idea that maybe there are going to be two different champions. But I like Awesome Truth winning. Finishes that story with the Judgment Day, and I think A Town Down Under is a good heel type team to win on SmackDown. There's some really good tag teams on SmackDown, some really good tag teams on Raw that they can really drive this tag team division.
Yeah, you had one babyface team winning, one heel team winning. This next match, Rey Mysterio and Andrade defeated Dominic Mysterio and Sante Escobar. Jacob, man, I really thought since he just got married, I thought this was going to be the wedding present Rey was going to give Dom, and he can go over on his dad at WrestleMania. And it didn't happen.
Yeah, this is one of the picks that killed me. I had Dom going into it. I don't think Ray needed the win. I don't think Andrade needed the win. I can get why they're getting the win, but I don't think they needed it. I think Dom needed it more than I think Dom and Santos needed it more, but whatever, I guess. I'm not in control.
I feel you. I agree. Byron?
Dom and Santos definitely needed this win more. That's why I picked them. I also would have picked Rey Mysterio and Andrade if I had known the freaking Philadelphia Eagles were gonna come help Rey and Andrade out.
Yeah, we got some help from the Eagles, one of them being obviously retired, Jason Kelsey. Yep. None of us saw that coming, so that's where the celebrities wanted to come in. It pains me to say this. This next match really might be the worst WrestleMania match in the past 10 years. And it really pains me to say that, but Jimmy and Jay, that match was terrible.
Match sucked.
It was bad. I'm really trying to think like of a match that was so bad at WrestleMania between two wrestlers that I don't say it's bad because the person I wanted to win lost, but like just watching it was bad.
It really was. You would think twin brothers growing up would have better chemistry than Jimmy and Jay did at WrestleMania.
I don't know what it was just, man, like it was literally 3 moves.
Super kick, frog splash. I can't even think of the third move.
Samoan drop.
Samoan drop, yes.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
I really don't.
This match fucking sucked.
No, it's the worst match. It was the worst match of the WrestleMania weekend. It was the worst. It's one of the worst WrestleMania matches I've seen in a long time. And I really like Jay, but it was just bad. And there was a time too where people are like, "Oh, this might be night one main event WrestleMania worthy because of the storyline." But storyline could carry you so far. But when you get in that match and it's just ass, you're just like, "Oh."
Yeah, and I've seen them like put on great matches as a tag team, and just to see them struggle against each other solo is just it was very strange to watch.
Okay, did you guys think the right guy won though?
Oh, Well, now seeing what happens, now because we have hindsight, Jay being the number one contender to the world, to the champion on Raw, yeah, because it would have made no sense for him to lose and become the contender. With hindsight now, because we have that.
I did not see it. I was actually kind of pissed.
Oh, when Jimmy came out just to his music and Jay came out with Lil Wayne, I knew it was over.
Yeah.
Talk about shitty performances. Lil Wayne was terrible.
Yeah, that was not.
Yeah.
That was bad. And he's probably my favorite rapper of all time. And that was a sell. He sold that one. There was no really. It was just like, whatever. But now in hindsight, yeah, Jay had to win, especially what happened to Jimmy. All right, next one was a Destruction Fest. Jade Cargill, in her first year already on a WrestleMania card, teaming up with Bianca Belair and Naomi. Obviously, two girls who, Jade debuted in WWE, Naomi returned, and Bianca. And then versus Damage Control, basically, Asuka, Kairi Sane, Dakota Kai. We all knew that Jade Cargill's team was going to win. And Byron, just want to throw this at you. This is the first WrestleMania that Bianca Belair is not fighting for the title, fought for the title.
Yeah. Because the first one was against Sasha. Second one was against
Becky.
And then this year.
And then she had the Asuka one too, didn't she?
I can't remember that was I think that was last year's WrestleMania.
Yeah, she had the Asuka one. She's fought for the title 3 straight times, and currently Bianca Belair is undefeated at WrestleMania.
4-0.
So,
which is very impressive.
I know people call her Jane Cena, but hey, man, she's a team player. Like, Jade got the spotlight, and Jacob, in 1 year, Jade has had more spotlight than she did in all those years of AEW.
Yeah, true. Honestly, like, shout out to Jade and Bianca, because I thought Naomi fucking sucked this match. Dude, this match was turned into a fucking, like, almost everyone was on their phone in my house during this match. We did not give a shit about this match.
I'm trying to think what we were doing. I mean, the presentation for Jade, and then that was crazy. Like the entrance.
Yeah, that was on point.
Yeah, but I was just like, maybe because it also didn't help too that this match was right after Jimmy and Jay.
Mm-hmm.
So you already have the crowd of like, But then the next match, which this messed me up on my sheet because I did not see this happening. Sami Zayn beat Gunter and ended the reign. Jacob, you have been a big Gunter supporter on this podcast. Were you shocked that they let Sami Zayn actually finish, quote unquote, a story?
Dude, I was shook. I was absolutely shook, because this is another one that just absolutely fucked my pick'em sheet. Because I don't know. And even hindsight 2020, we are a full-blown week out of WrestleMania. And honestly, I don't know why Gunther lost. I still don't really get it. He's not getting rocket ship. He's not going to the main event. And
unless he wanted the break before the push.
Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. Not a fan of it. I mean, I'm happy for Sammy. Like, that was cool and all, but like, I really wanted Gunther to fucking win, and I really, really don't know why Sammy won.
It was shocking. Like, it was really, really like, OMG, this really happened. And that match was a good match.
Yes, it was.
It kind of reminded me about like what NXT Sammy could do if you allow him to be in his bag. Mm-hmm. And it showed how good Gunter is as well. And like, Byron, I know you were shocked too, because I know you and I both had like the Gunter thing, and like Sammy winning was just crazy.
It was definitely very shocking. I had big points on Gunter to retain, because I didn't think Sammy was going to win. I thought, I wanted Chad Gable to be in the spot, but like we talked about hindsight with Jay, hindsight with Sammy, um, he was in his hometown over on Raw Monday, Montreal.
F Kevin Dunn, man, because the entrances we're getting now.
Oh my God.
The
That entrance from Jay winning his match, going all the way back in the back with the crowd, leaving, seeing Sammy walk in, hyping up the crowd as he walked in was just A+ work. Sammy, of course, won in his hometown. Then we saw Chad Gable heel turn, so I can see why they wanted Sammy to win to have a Chad Gable heel turn, because you can't heel turn against Gunter because he's like the ultimate heel. But whenever he comes back, I'm sure they're probably gonna tie the rocket ship to him.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't think you needed Sammy to win to have Chad turn on Sammy, though.
But I think it means more with Sammy having a title.
Yeah, it's true.
And he didn't just turn. He suplexed Sami Zayn out of his wife's arms. Yes. Like, that is some heel shit. Like, it was so heel that they were talking about that on NBA on TNT during the playoff game yesterday. Charles Barkley is like, nah, I don't like that. How can you suplex a man out of his wife's arms? Like, that's how big it was. I was like, Charles Barkley's getting pissed over Sami Zayn getting suplexed. Oh man! So again, it's getting some buzz, but it's interesting to see, like with Gunter, the 600, he'll get his break, he'll come back, and once we get to the night 2, I don't think the world. I'm one of the people. I don't think the world champ's going to be champ for that long. I might be proven wrong, but we'll see on that. Main event, night 1, Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody and Seth. I tell you what, speaking of presentation, they gave The Rock a hell of an entrance. Mm-hmm. We all knew Rock and Roman were going to win night 1, but I liked it. There were some cool spots. I mean, Rock getting speared, I gasped. I was like, oh, is this where we see some cracks now? Like, I gasped on that. We kind of figured Rock would get the pin and get the win, but for what it was, man, Seth was the MVP. He was there working. Like, Rock's already said he was the MVP of the weekend, but I enjoyed it. I mean, we knew who was going to win, but I enjoyed it. What'd you think, Byron?
It was a really great match. It actually lasted longer than I thought it would. It ended up being like 44-ish minutes. I thought it was maybe 20 minutes. They were going to call it a night, but they did some great spots during that match. There was a couple times where I thought Cody and Seth were going to win.
When Rock got speared, I actually thought they were going to win.
Yes, I was like, oh shit, it's actually over. We're going to get a singles clean match for night 2, but Rock and Roman won, and it was a great match.
Jacob?
Yeah, my biggest complaint with this match was it seemed like the entrances took way too fucking long. Because, like, me and my friends are sitting there in my living room, and we're like, holy shit, it's like 9:50. Are we gonna have like a short match? I'm like, oh my god, will this end before 11? That would be awesome.
It did.
I can get up early. I was like, this would be great. But man, Rock sold the shit out of that spear.
Oh yeah.
He sold the fuck out of that thing. This was a fun match. This was what everyone thought was going to happen, which was the right thing to happen.
You brought up the time, man, but you're right. Like, I think I was talking to Oso about it, Dragon Ball for the pod. It's crazy how this ended. Like, it ended before 11, and we're from the times where we were watching WrestleMania Sunday, and that shit wasn't ending till 1 o'clock. Like, we're from the times where they did WrestleMania one night, and that shit would be almost 12 hours.
Because they would do like the pre-show at 5, and the main card at like 8, and then not until like 12:30.
if you were lucky. And that's what was
Right.
and that was the case until WrestleMania 37, the one after COVID. Like we were doing one nights.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you guys miss the one nights? I've been getting asked this a lot.
It's hit or miss. There's the one quality I like about it is one night. So that means I know I gotta dedicate just one thing as a fan, like as a fan watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, as a fan and reporting on it, doing like the podcast, I gotta dedicate 2 nights, which isn't that bad because we know on WrestleMania it is ahead of time, but and then on the good side, I guess more people get matches, but it doesn't feel like more people are getting matches because both these things ended early, like a lot earlier than I thought both nights would end. So,
yeah,
I don't know. There's elements I miss. There is some elements I miss, but
I do miss that one night like buzz that you get. So I actually tie this in with NXT because like pre-COVID, you got NXT on Saturday night, then you got WrestleMania on
I do
Sunday,
miss
and
that. I miss
NXT. Oh my god, those NXT pre-big event pay-per-views were just electric. So you got the buzz from that Saturday night, and then Sunday you go into WrestleMania, you have the buzz from that. So I do miss that. I do like the night format for the mere fact that it ends way before 12. I just miss that one night buzz. I miss that for
What about you,
WrestleMania.
Jacob?
Yeah, I'm at this point where I miss it being one night. I really do. I miss the one night. But instead of putting it on Sunday, put it on Saturday. That way I don't have to worry about waking up early for work the next day.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I wish it would do.
It is interesting for that fact because currently they've gone to recently they've gone to like UFC boxing where the pay-per-views are on Saturday nights. And we were always like, why the hell would you have it on Saturday night? People have things to do. But then just to your point, you have it on Saturday night, you watch it, you're like, oh shoot, I still got Sunday. I could sleep in. I'm not going to work and all of that.
Mhm.
But I don't know. It's just wild to think that it's been 2 nights for years now. And some of these people who might have just started watching wrestling, like, oh, this is ending before 11 o'clock. This is easy. I was like, man, I remember when some of these main events weren't starting till 11:30.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then like something else, like for me, and this is just me being, I don't know, old and complaining, I guess. But like we always have like the WrestleMania party up here for me and my wife and our two. And it was always like an entire day ordeal of like it's like a Thanksgiving, dude. We cooked so much food. Like they'd show up at our house in the morning, we go to their house in the morning, and we'd be cooking food. And then we'd just be grazing like fat cattle all throughout the day. And it would be amazing. But now it's like, all right, well, I'm not doing this. I can't do 2 massive meals 2 nights in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I can order pizza one night and we'll just cook the next night or vice versa. I'm just old, I guess. I don't know, man.
I don't know. There's pros and cons for both. I think one of the biggest cons for 2 is just that it ends before 11. Like we were seeing the thing where like, wait, is it 10:40 and it's over?
Right.
Like
Like,
what?
what do we do for the rest of the night?
Like is this SmackDown? Like why is it ending at 10? Like what?
It's awesome.
It's I think I liked it one night when especially like post college when everyone's like living closer to each other because then you could still stay up, and then now they're like it has to be like a real planned thing. 2 nights is fine, but your Saturday thing, let's just say they did it all on Saturday. My suggestion then, because obviously the NXT stuff's already in the afternoon, and it's really so good. Like I watched the NXT thing before WrestleMania, it was good, but again, it's like at 3:00. I wouldn't have SmackDown on Friday. I'd have NXT TakeOver on Friday night.
Oh yeah.
So I would turn SmackDown into NXT TakeOver, then have your thing WrestleMania Saturday night, and then you can make up something and do Sunday, like some post-game video thing you show on Peacock.
What if they did NXT on Sunday night?
But then they got to follow up Mania. If
That's true. Yeah.
If it was like the people,
right.
if it was like the old school NXT people, I would have no problem with that because I know they'd be able to deliver. But
Yeah.
If you have
You're right.
NXT or you have an NXT versus SmackDown, that's
Ooh,
you
I
have the
like that.
top NXT people going against the SmackDown people on Friday night instead of doing the Andre the Giant Memorial thing, and then that goes into the Hall of Fame and yada yada.
Actually,
we might be cooking something here.
You can do the Hall of Fame on Sunday.
That's
true.
Yeah.
That way, people are already kind of coming down. Hey, we do our Hall of Fame thing. That'd be great.
That's actually, you give the Hall of Fame its own. That's honestly how you should end the weekend. The Hall of Fame, paying respect to those people instead of doing it before. NXT
like
Takeover / versus SmackDown Friday, WrestleMania Saturday, Hall of Fame Sunday.
That'd be bitching.
Man, we might have just cooked something.
Hey, Triple H, you're trying to hire the L7C real quick?
Well, Triple H is a good boss, so they haven't even been firing people. And he gives people second chances, so.
Right.
Night 2 started off very unexpectedly because Stephanie McMahon came out and did, the Are You Ready? All stuff. We haven't seen her since she left because, she got put in charge after Vince initially had to leave, and everyone was happy because she was actually doing good. And then her dad snaked his way back into the company, and then she was just like, all right, well, I'm out. First time we see her in forever, and she opens it up, so that was really cool to see. And then also just laugh at the internet wrestling community who said like Triple H and Stephanie were getting divorced. Didn't really seem like it.
Now they seemed real happy during the weekend because she was at the Hall of Fame ceremony for Paul, and then her doing the WrestleMania Night 2 intro was great to see her.
Yeah. So, but the first match, Jacob's guy, for a brief second, right place, finally, the right time.
Oh, God
damn. Drew McIntyre. You have coined the famous phrase that even Byron uses now. We all use it. Right guy, wrong place, wrong time. Right guy, wrong time. We've used that now. We've coined that for Drew. It was finally his time, and he was finally the right guy. He beat Seth Rollins for the title. Jacob, your guy, man.
I was pumped. I was happy for him. I was genuinely happy for him. I was like, finally, Drew did it. I'm over here screaming, right guy, right time, finally, blah, 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 whatever. Damn. And then he just had to go start talking shit.
To CM Punk. To CM Punk.
I was like, damn. I was like, are they doing anything with this? Like, all right, whatever. And then Damian Priest. And I was like, the shit, okay. Which made me feel two ways. One, I was like, damn it, no, you're not, don't do this to Drew. He finally won. Don't do this. No. In front of all these people, no. And then the other thing in my mind was, if Damian's cashing in now, he can't cash in later. Okay, I'll take it. Fuck it. Drew, you're sacrificing yourself. Thanks, bud. That was my thought.
It's crazy how he finally had his moment. It was short-lived because he had to talk shit to Punk, and then Punk messed him up. And then Damian comes in, cashes in. Byron, what do you think of Drew finally getting that world title win in front of a crowd, but it getting cut short because of his own feelings?
Man, I was so happy for Drew. Him and Seth put on a great match. Drew finally got the win. And then you can see Seth mouthing at the end, you fucking deserve it, which, he does. He does. And then you just had to talk shit to Punk. And then I was shocked when Damian Priest's music hit because, on Twitter all day, they're, making fun of Damian, how, Seth was, basically on his last leg from night one. He could have cashed in on Seth then, but didn't. So there were all these jokes, and then Damian Priest's music hits. I was shocked that I was like, wait, they're not going to do that. They're not going to take away Drew's moment that he's earned. He should have won at Clash of the Castle. And they did. So I was upset for Drew, but You know what? I'm gonna see what Damian Priest does with this championship opportunity. See if he can be a good champion. I feel like this is leading up to a CM Punk versus Drew match at SummerSlam.
The thing is, will Drew have the title back by then? Because I don't know how long Damian Priest is going to last with this title. I really don't, because
Right.
now we have Drew obviously wants this, is going to want the title back, but he has to deal with Punk. To Jacob's thing, you're telling me that you couldn't see Gunter just whooping Damian Priest's ass and taking the title from him?
I can't.
Like, now there's like, I just don't know how long he's going to last as champ.
Yeah, I think he will beat Jay at Backlash, but I don't see how far after that he keeps his championship.
Next match, which was really one of the clunker. Lashley and Street Profits defeated Karrion Kross and AOP. I picked the Street Profits and Bobby just because I like Bobby Lashley. Like now, do I think they should have won? Nah, I think Karrion Kross's team should have won that match.
I agree. I put Final Testament to win for our pick'em sheet. Definitely put low points on that, but yeah, like you said, it was an okay match. Didn't know Bubba Ray Dudley was going to be the special guest referee.
Yeah, that was ruse.
But I guess they were in Philadelphia, so I guess they had to have some ECW representation. But now, apparently, the Final Testament is now in NXT, so we'll see what they do down there.
Karrion Kross needs to cut his hair, man. He needs to go back. He needs to go back to NXT Cross.
100% agree.
This match pissed me off. Fuck me, dude. How? I don't get it. I'm sorry. I know you guys like Bobby Lashley, but let's be fucking real. That guy is a goddamn charisma fucking black fucking hole. He needs a fucking mouthpiece. Just in general. Like, yeah, he can move. He can do all this shit. Jesus Christ, he's such a fucking black hole of charisma. It just sucks the fucking energy out of the air. But how do you have Karrion Kross with Scarlett, with AOP, with Paul Elric? You have some straight murderers. This shit, honestly, if you think about it, this should be a scarier faction than Judgment Day. They should be ripping people's fucking heads off, squash matches nonstop. And somehow you fucking lose again. Like, what are we doing? So, and then them going to NXT, like, okay, are you going to do something with them in NXT? I hope so. But at the same time, it's like, oh, hey, you couldn't cut it on the main roster, so now you got to go back down to NXT. That's how it looks to me, and I fucking hate it. Not a fan. Not a fan. But ladies and gentlemen, I might be biased here because I really like AOP, and I'm a massive Karrion Kross fan.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I thought they should have won because like he needs like a boosted win. Do y'all remember when Karrion Kross first showed up, when he first came back with Scarlett after they got released or whatever, and he showed up on Roman saying, "Time's ticking."
Yep.
Yeah.
And nothing ever happened with that.
Nope.
No.
Not a thing. And if you think about when he showed up to NXT, man, he murdered.
Oh yeah.
Dijak. He murdered Keith Lee.
Yes.
He was petrifying. Absolutely petrifying. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know how they don't see what I can see with this entire faction. Drives me up a wall.
Now this next match we want to talk about makes no sense because of hindsight. LA Knight defeated AJ Styles. LA Knight's biggest probably individual win of his career. But now they're basically running it back on SmackDown with the winner going against Cody. Spoilers. But now I don't get it, because if you just did this, why are you wrestling 2 weeks later?
Exactly. Why? You don't need a number one contenders match at that point. He just won at Mania.
And I don't know if he's doing the job twice. I don't know if AJ's doing the job twice.
No, he'll win again because you're not going to have Cody go over an Uber babyface right now. You don't have him go over.
And that would make no sense because it'd be like, it makes sense from that standpoint, yes, but it makes sense like, then why the hell did LA Knight win at WrestleMania if we were just going to have AJ be the one to wrestle Cody?
Right. Their only options is shenanigans.
Yeah.
You have to have, I mean, are they still with him? Is Carl Anderson and
Luke Gallows?
Are they still together? Like with AJ?
I thought he's doing his lone wolf thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really dumb.
Yeah.
So I mean, it'd make no sense for him to get a new faction, but at the same time, if he's being Mr. I'm fucking lone wolf badass, it also makes no sense. I don't get it, dude. It's kind of dumb. This feels like some Vince booking. I'm not gonna lie.
Byron, what do you think? Because, like, again, this was almost going to be 2 weeks ago this Sunday. LA Knight defeated AJ Styles, but this Friday, and so is Jacob, thinking AJ Styles is going to beat LA Knight to be the number one contender to Cody's thing. But if you're like, hey, babe, but if you're LA Knight, wouldn't you be like, why the hell is he the number one contender? I beat him at the grandest stage of all, and he beats me on a SmackDown?
Yeah, I don't think they thought this one through because I see AJ winning on Friday. I'd be shocked if they had LA Knight win, have a babyface versus babyface match for Cody's first title defense. But I feel like AJ is going to win. I mean, congratulations on LA Knight winning at WrestleMania, but if he loses against AJ, like, where does he go from there?
Yeah. Maybe he goes to this place. Logan Paul defeated Kevin Owens and Randy Orton to retain the United States Championship. I had Logan winning. I just didn't have him losing in a triple threat because I do remember months ago the original plans were supposed to be LA Knight versus Logan, and this would have been LA Knight's first title on the roster of the United States Championship. I still think that may be a possibility in the future.
I feel like they could have it at SummerSlam. Or if Logan, I don't know if Logan's wrestling at Backlash, but they could have it at Backlash.
I just knew Randy was not winning this match because I think Randy was just in it, obviously, because he wasn't at WrestleMania last year because of the injuries, and he's Randy freaking Orton, so you got to have him on the card. You got to have the RKO spots and all that. But I did not think he was ever going to win, so it was going to really be between Kevin and Logan, and I just would like to keep it on Logan. What were your thoughts, Jacob?
I'll say it. This right here, this match of WrestleMania weekend. From a pure wrestling standpoint, this was so fucking good. The pacing was so good. The entrances were so good. Everything about this was good. And God damn it. Once again, here we are. Logan Paul is so fucking good. And I hate it. I hate how good he is. He's so fucking gifted. Congrats to Logan Paul. I mean, I had him in my pick'em sheet. I was like, oh my God. It was just such a good fucking match. Like, we were all loving that shit at our house.
Oh, I agree. Now, me personally, I don't think it was the best, like, pure wrestling match on the card. I personally think the next match was the best pure wrestling match because all they did was wrestle. And that is Bayley versus Io Sky. Obviously, Bayley won the Royal Rumble. Maybe it would have been main eventing night one if Dwayne didn't come back. But they just put on a wrestling show, man. Like, you saw how good Bayley was as a wrestler. You see how good Io is. And Bayley won the title. She got her moment. Like, there was no gimmicks. There was no interference. It was just one-on-one.
I really thought, because Io came out with damage control, I really thought damage control was going to interfere in the match. I was like, well, if that happens, Bayley, you don't really have any friends on SmackDown anymore, so I don't know who's helping you if they interfere. But I like that they kept it a clean wrestling match between Bailey and Io Sky. There was this one moment where Io Sky like reverses Bailey's finisher, which I've never seen anyone reverse it before. But the way she reversed it was just so clean. But this is a great match. Congratulations to Bailey. Excited to see what she does with this championship run that she deserves.
We already have some people lining up. I mean, you got Naomi, you got Tiffany, you got some challengers. Obviously, the EO run back, some others. I mean, Bianca, Jade, like they got a lot of women on SmackDown, as we have eloquently stated on the past couple podcasts that SmackDown women are freaking stacked.
Well, the draft is coming in 2 weeks, so we'll see if
they can't mess that
switch it up.
Oh my god! Especially with Rhea hurt now, Raw really don't got nobody but Liv. And it looks like Becky's on vacation for a couple weeks.
We just still don't know if Becky re-signed her contract or not either.
She says she's doing the UK thing. She's had a tweet about it.
But like, is it like her last thing?
It's a thing. It's coming up.
So we'll see.
I mean, Jacob, any thoughts on the 4 horsewoman Bailey, because the era is over, winning the match?
That's pretty much what I was pretty much going to say. Was the match is good, no real complaints from me. But shout out to our boy on Twitter for saying the 4 horsewoman era is over.
I mean,
what else do you say about it? I mean, fucking. I still say we try and get that fucking guy on Twitter. I thought we got him on here. Yeah, era's over, my guy.
Oh man, Rumble winner and WrestleMania champ winner. Okay, just saying, man, it's kind of crazy. Next match, main event of the whole weekend. We talked about the craziness of how we even had to get here because The Rock was being Dwayne, and the fans literally said hell no, so they really had to pivot. Thank God for the WWE fans, because we really would have been sitting during babyface Dwayne against Roman Reigns, and that's what we would have gotten if it wasn't for the fans. And that is significantly worse than Final Boss Dwayne.
Significantly worse than Final Boss Dwayne. Final Boss Dwayne, he did real good leading up from Las Vegas to WrestleMania Night 2.
So, Cody, rematch, Roman Reigns, Bloodline Rules match, become the new undisputed champion. Where do you guys want to start with this one?
Fuck, dude. Do we start? You know what? Fuck it. Let's start at the Hall of Fame with this one. Mm-hmm. Did The Rock really need to get a fucking another bullshit title? The People's Champion. Like, dude's in here for Muhammad Ali, and the next thing you know, nope, I'm going to make this about myself here, boys. Fuck, God damn it, my guy. Fuck off. That's where we need to start this motherfucker off.
That's true, because he has his own belt now that he walks around with like it's a damn title to be won.
Yep, the People's Championship.
Fuck that guy. God damn it, I hate him so much. He's done great work as a heel. I mean, I absolutely hate him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, genuinely hate this fucking. So good on Rock for making me want to hate him. But fuck him. Shit's annoying.
So from there to the then obviously Saturday they won the tag, and then Sunday, Roman and Cody got good chemistry.
Yes, they do.
Like, they got real good chemistry. You're sitting there, you're watching the match. You're like, oh, and then obviously Roman being a heel, doing Cody's finishing move on Cody, and then Cody kicks out, and then Roman's just saying, "This move fucking sucks. No wonder you don't beat anyone with this thing."
That was so great. I was like, damn, that was a really good storytelling moment right there.
Yeah, the fact you're telling someone else their finishing move sucks is so crazy, and saying this is why you don't win, because you have a move like this. But They're going
And he
at
really
it.
hit that crossroads real good too.
Oh yeah, he hit it clean. Like like they're going at it back and forth. And obviously, it's bloodline rules. And then you have like 5 billion storylines entered into one. First time Cody's about to win. Here comes Jey Uso. No, Jimmy Uso.
First. Yeah.
Jimmy first. Then Jey comes to take out Jimmy. They threw his ass off the damn ramp.
Yes. Spared him off the ramp too. I was like, damn.
So you're like, all right, both those two are dead. All right, X out. Second time Cody's about to win. We almost have the relapse of last year. Solo, which someone made a great point. Well, now hindsight, he needs to stop wearing the hoodie stuff. We all know it's you, but now maybe we don't. Right. Maybe it's now Tonga. But he's about to spike him. He's still kicking out. Solo's telling Roman, finish him. Roman's like, I know. Which is great because they're getting both frustrated that Cody's still kicking out. John Cena's music comes on. John Cena comes. He throws Solo out. Before he goes and kills Solo, he AAs Roman, then clears off the table and says, well, Solo, it's your turn to die. He AAs Solo, so he's out of the match. So then Rock's music comes on. You have the thing of Cena, have the picture on Cena, and you're just like, final boss is coming out saying, what the fuck are you doing here? This has nothing to fucking concern you. You have Cena and Rock facing down at WrestleMania. I'm seeing a lot of cool edits of them of the edits of WrestleMania 28, where they're staring in the same directions and all of that stuff. So that was really cool to see. And then Cena took a swing, got his ass rock bottom, and Rock told him to get the fuck out of here. This has nothing to do with And some people ask, why didn't Cena get more physical? It's probably out now. Just for people who don't know, Cena's filming Peacemaker 2, so he was only allowed a certain level of physicality. Just for people who didn't know. So Rock tells him to get the fuck out. Rock's about to whoop Cody's ass. You hear the Shield music. I'm not gonna lie. I almost shit my pants because I thought Dean Ambrose was coming.
Dang!
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. And I was looking around. I'm like, wait, this is like the real, like, are they gonna come down Seth and Dean? Like, I was really like about to explode. Because we haven't seen Moxley on AEW in a minute. So I was like, oh, are we allowed to borrow Moxley? Is this real? Like, I know he's not coming back to WWE, but it's like, is this real? And then before Seth can even hit Rock with a chair, Roman speared his ass immediately. And then, Rock's there with his belt. He's like, oh, Mama Rose, time to whoop somebody's shit. And then the gong went off. And I was just like, wait, what? Like, I was like, nah, I didn't hear that gong. Bullshit. And then the lights went off, and I had to sit up my chair. I was like, and then Rock is talking his shit, blah, blah, blah. The final boss, as he was like, he turned around. He wasn't the final boss no more. Undertaker came, and he said, well, time to kill you. Choke slams Rock, uses his Undertaker powers. Rock's gone. He's out of the ring now. And then it's just Cody and Roman. They're about to fight. Roman gets a chair. Could hit Cody. But Paul Levesque is in charge. So we're intertwining everyone's storylines of years of storytelling. But he sees Seth in that sealed shit. And he sees that chair. And he hates Seth Rollins. And Seth Rollins hates him. And he's like, this is for breaking up the fucking Shield. Hits Seth with that chair. And he goes down like Roman did almost 10 years ago. And Cody's able to come in 3 times crossroad. And I said, and we saw Roman Reigns get pinned individually in a one-on-one match for the first time in 4 years. And we actually saw the title reign, and we saw Roman lose, and Cody won that title. Man.
I jumped out of my chair. Like,
I almost cried. I was just like, because I don't even know if I was crying more if I was going to cry more for Cody winning, or more cry because that fucking reign is over.
Right. And then shout out Samantha Irvin. Let's talk about.
She became
Yes.
a worldwide star that weekend. That Matt, yeah, she's worldwide now.
What
Dude,
I found out about her, she said she doesn't want to know the results of any of the matches. She wants to call that shit live, and that
that's how
makes
you
that
do
shit
it.
more effective. Because the way she broke down, now seeing Cody as a winner, oh my god.
Oh yeah, that was me inside. And then on a side note too, to bring up Jacob, I mean Logan Paul showed the video of him watching all the shit, him breaking down, seeing Cody win. It's just like, man gets it, man, because he was the first star to say we want Cody.
Yep.
And then after the match, you know, them announcing, then you have to see all the baby faces come out, lifting Cody up on their shoulders. Such a great moment.
And you know,
and then
what's funny
Cody's
about
like,
that
you know
part,
what?
too?
I want Triple H and Bruce Pritchard to come out here because they've been behind my back the whole time. Just
Bruce
a great
got
moment.
booed out of the fucking building when he's walking down the
Yeah,
ramp.
no one wanted Bruce there. But I would
No one
also
did.
I would also say too, just backtracking to the beginning, because I didn't even mention Cody's entrance, absolutely heat. The crowd popped for Brandy because no one thought Brandy was going to be in the entrance, so they popped for her. Roman shit, final boss shit with his music, like just going back to his entrance. And obviously Brandy came in the ring, like mom, and like you said, I think it was cool, Byron, that all the baby faces that the bloodline wronged all ran past Roman as Roman's making that loser walk up. Like that is storytelling. And then there's a time where Rock looked back at Roman like, did you really just fucking lose? Like, I'm like, all those people in there. You see Randy holding up, one of the main people holding up Cody, looking like a proud big brother. Like, man, you know, if we would have had this ending last year could potentially been the second greatest WrestleMania ever.
Yeah.
But I just, man, and then you had everyone coming out there, man, just it was crazy. And then he did it, like the crowd was going crazy, and his mom got to be in the ring, which was cool. And now hindsight, I mean, and now the ramifications of that match. Roman's on vacay. Solo's bringing new Samoans into the bloodline without Roman's permission. Jimmy Uso got his ass whooped, so he might be out. Jimmy Uso might have to crawl back to Jay. We might actually have a real bloodline civil war.
Oh, you know, that's exactly what's going to happen. So I'm going to say this from my perspective. We'll talk about the SmackDown after Mania. I was in New York. I was actually in Times Square at a little bakery eating a pastry. And I'm scrolling on my phone and I see Tama Tonga debuts and beats the shit out of Jimmy Uso. And I throwing stiff, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. That's literally what I said in the middle of this bakery. And my wife looked at me, you be quiet. No, Tama is officially debuted. I'm fucking pumped. For those who do not know who Tama Tonga is, you are in for quite a show. That dude can move. That dude can talk. Oh, this is going to be so good. And then we have Jacob Fatu, has not showed up yet, but is allegedly signed. And for those who do not know, that man is scary as fuck. That man is a straight murderer. Can't wait for y'all to see him. It's going to be a good fucking time. Dude. And we do know the storyline that's going to happen. You're going to have Solo acting as temporary tribal chief for the time being. And then Roman's going to come back and he's like, no, you're not tribal chief. Fuck off out of here. And is it going to be The Rock? That's what I'm thinking. Rock's still going to come back and be like, fuck you. I'm tribal chief. You lost. The face Jimmy, Roman, Jay versus the other bloodline of Jacob, Tama Tonga, and Solo. Dude, that's going to be a bitchin' match. I'm already excited for it.
So, yeah, because SmackDown started with the bloodline trying to go to their old locker room, and it was Cody's thing. And they said, Paul Heyman said, losing has consequences. And then Solo said that to Jimmy. He's like, losing has consequences. So, like to your thing with Roman, they're gonna say losing has consequences, and I don't even take it a step further because I don't know how many people they're gonna get on the Dwayne thing. But Jacob, people are saying no, they need the full power old school bloodline. So you gotta throw. Jay's gonna try and get Sammy to come help.
I saw that on Twitter.
Can you imagine the reunion? Jimmy, Jay, Sammy, Roman.
Man.
When the bloodline was at its absolute peak.
You could say that'd be pretty juicy.
Because he would look at her, he's like, I'm not here for you. I'm only here to help Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you had that was the strongest bloodline they had, man. When Sammy was there, that's when their story was to the.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Oh no! But now you got Dwayne, who came in on Mondays, like, oh, you did so well, Cody. Don't break my heart again next time. I'm like, brother, what are we doing?
Right, like, what does that mean?
That was so fucking awkward.
It was.
Cody, can I hold yours and you can hold mine? I'll show you mine if you show me yours. It was so fucking awkward. What the fuck was that shit?
And then he said, I'm coming for him. And then someone, Dave is trying to say that the reports are it's going to be Cody and Rock at WrestleMania 41. I'm like, get the hell out of here.
I don't want that at 41.
I don't think they make it last that long.
Right.
We about the Jay and Jimmy thing and they made it last that long.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like we need to timestamp this because if it happens at 41, I want to refer back to this.
Oh, that's true. That is true. You have a great point. Like we did say that then.
That is true because Rock is now shooting movies in Hollywood now, so they could drag it out to 41.
And Rock is now financially involved now because he got a $9 million bonus for competing in WrestleMania. Board powers.
It's so wild.
I didn't know this is all what took for Dwayne to come back to wrestling. Just put him on the effing board and let him have his own creative writer.
Yep.
So, oh man, we got a lot of stuff happening. Wrestling's hot. Everyone talked about Cody finishing the story. Now we're on to new things. And while this is happening, because we are previewing the next pod, AEW was going in a whole different direction.
Whole different direction.
And we're going to have
it's the same direction they're going. They just like hit the NOS. They hit the turbo.
Like, oh boy. Oh boy.
Full speed ahead, boys. Yeah, we'll get into that later.
We'll get into that to the next pod, next wrestling pod, and we won't have y'all wait. That one will be coming soon because we're dedicating a whole pod to AEW.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anything else, boys?
There's a couple things. One, Raw after WrestleMania was way better than it was last year.
Well, last year's was the worst one in history. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely better. Shinsuke versus Ilya Dragunov. I was like, oh no, Shinsuke, you're not ready for this. Oh my god. I love
he had
Ilya
both
Dragunov
champions
so
show
much.
up on Raw because Roxanne came on.
Roxanne came on. I forgot who she faced, but yeah.
Natalia? Was it Natalia?
No, it was Candice LeRae's buddy.
Indy Hartwell.
Yeah, Indy Hartwell. Yeah. Because Candice was like, oh my god, you lost, you piece of shit.
Basically Candice's whole shtick now. Then the other thing, NXT Stand and Deliver was amazing. Watch out for Obafemi. That man really impressed me in his triple threat match at Stand and Deliver.
Anything else, guys?
And honestly, I think this is one of the best WrestleManias of all time.
Yes.
At the end of the day, I'm not saying it's better than 17 because nothing will ever beat 17. But it's certainly a top 3, top 4 WrestleMania, in my opinion. This just ended so fucking well. Very happy with it. Good job, Triple H.
Good job, Triple H.
I do not disagree at all. Maybe one day, we'll talk about what it would take for WrestleMania to beat 17.
That'd be a good podcast.
The problem is, the older it gets, it's like a fine wine. It just gets better with age, and with nostalgia, it's gonna be hard to fucking beat.
Yeah.
Well, we can make a whole bunch of different things. We can talk about like what would it take for this current group to beat it roster wise, or what would we have changed at a previous WrestleMania to make it beat 17.
Yeah. I like that.
Hold that for front. Well, that being said, everyone, thank you for listening to L7C Podcast WrestleMania Review. Again, you know what our next episode is going to be about. It's going to be about AEW. I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to get hot. There's going to be a lot of emotions because they're doing some things some people on the crew do not agree with, and they're kind of messing some things up. Heck, if anyone knows the EVPs, we hope you listen because we might be able to help you guys. With that being said, L7C Podcast, Cody finished the story. We'll see you next. Signing out.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C Podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.